putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. You're listening to the Kevin Jackson Show. Bob may have even fed this story to the Times, the insider said. Who am I speaking of? I'm speaking of Bob Weinstein, or Weinstein, brother of Harvey, the sexual predator. Glad you guys are here. This story's big. It's huge. It touches socio-political, its tentacles are in both of those areas. It's in pop culture. It's the whole deal. It's all that and a bag of chips, as they used to say when I was a kid. You got this Hollywood elitist who hobnobs with the biggest politicos. He's been seen with Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, the Clintons. He is a mover and a shaker. And you know the influence Hollywood's had on pop culture. It's had on your kids. These people get together and connive on the types of films to make. They decide, hey, we're going to go after the Catholic Church. We're going to go after GM for moving its company from Flint, Michigan, but they won't go after the unions. They won't go after the Democrats. They won't go after each other. You wonder why the two Coreys could get no traction in their lives and their story about being passed around like sex toys amongst Hollywood's elites. It's because they're not going to make that story. People are afraid of guys like Harvey Weinstein. What is it? Which is it? They're afraid of him. The Weinsteins. Harvey and Bob. Harvey's the bad guy, okay? In case you've forgotten. But they are afraid of him. Do you know how they got their start? In the 1980s, they formed a company called Miramax. That company was named after their parents, the Weinstein parents, Miriam and Max. They acquired the rights to two British films, and they were for the show for Amnesty International. They edited the two films into one movie and tailored it for the American market, and they released it as The Secret Policeman's Other Ball. Excuse me. And then they got wider attention in 1988 with the release of a film called The Thin Blue Line. So these guys are sort of, anti-cop. If you wonder how we get to this place where we are, think about the films that show police corruption more than they show police nicety. Now, don't misunderstand me. I know how films have to be made. I watched Richard Gere in that movie where he plays a really, just a sinister cop, kills people, rapes their wives, whatever. And I get it. You're trying to make a film. You want people to go. You got to talk about the dregs, but at least say something to the good officers that are out there. Don't just have an agenda. Hollywood has an agenda. If former President Obama goes to them and says, "Hey, we need to show, white people being cruel to black people, cops killing black people," fine, we'll make you some movies. It's that simple. Oh, you want to make smoking bad now? Fine, we'll make movies where, only the people smoking are crackheads. You ever see that now? In the movies, there's nobody, if they're smoking, it's like, yeah, man, the guy, man, he killed that guy right over there. Yeah, man. He's all nervous with his cigarette. They don't show people glamorizing like in the old days. Yes, and as I was saying, bring me another drink, please. Hollywood is in collusion, folks, with politics to change public perception. I just told you about the new Wonder Woman movie. Holy cow. Anyway, that's the background of those guys. And what it did is it allowed Harvey Weinstein to amass $170 million. That's what his net worth is. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you giving me that number. And for decades, because of his power and his fame and, everybody knowing what these guys are capable of with other movies, they've had Sex, Lies, and Videotapes was one of their other movies. James Spader. But anyway, so they've gone out there, made a success of themselves, and Harvey used that success to torpedo the company, and his brother's going, dude, I had a similar situation I had a partner in a business years ago, and I went to visit one of our largest distributors who was a female. My partner was a female, white female lady. Went to visit one of our distributors, a powerful white female lady, and she says, literally calls me into her office. Her name was Norma, big lady, tall lady. We sit down, and I'm thinking, hey, why is she calling me over? They're going to do more business. She says, Kevin, how am I going to do any business with you guys if your partner keeps screwing my competition? And I was like, what? So this lady knew that my, ex-partner now, business partner, she was screwing another distributor who was in competition with Norma, and she's going, they're getting all the pricing. They're getting everything. They're getting the deals. And I'm like, no way. She's like, yeah, way. This has been my customer. She's telling me about one of her customers. This customer has been my customer for 10 years. And suddenly this guy comes in and gets the business. And by the way, in case you're not aware, he's screwing your partner. And I didn't even know that. This lady had her ear to the ground. So I go back to my office and I'm talking to my partner, and she's like, she said that? And I said, yeah. Well, that's not the. And I said, look, I'm just telling you, this is the rumor. And then I found out for myself it was indeed true. And I had a heart-to-heart with her and said, look, I don't really care what you do. I understand your marriage is on the rocks, blah, blah, blah. But it can't impact our business. And I bet you there was a similar conversation that was had between Bob and Harvey before Bob decided to leak to leak information that everybody knew to the New York Times. And that's a terrible situation to be in, where a partner puts you in a situation to have to go defend them. And, people are asking questions. I went to another rep in my business, and he asked me, I sit down in his office. I'm like, hey, what's going on, John? He says, hey, so, how long has your partner been screwing Castaldo? And I was like, what? And I'd already heard at this point, but I played dumb. But I couldn't believe he actually said it like that. So this thing started circulating through the industry, and we're getting the reputation of, hey, Kevin's in partnership with that woman that's screwing everybody. And I was like, whoa. Yeah, it was not cool. Anyway, here's what they said about Harvey. Everybody knew this. This is from Slate. For years, both women and men told the Times Weinstein has promised women help with their careers in exchange for sexual favors, naked messages, or their agreement to watch him bathe. They allege he groped them, scheduled work meetings with them only to bring them to his hotel, and repeatedly propositioned them for sex, forced young employees to wake him up in his bedroom or to do turn-down duty at night. Even female executives allegedly felt so uncomfortable around him, they wouldn't be in a room with him alone. I'm just saying, this is not a secret, folks. This is not Bill O'Reilly. We think there are allegations, or Eric Bolling. Well, there could be, or name them. Vox interviewed Elaine Liu, who's a gossip maven. She's up in Canada, has a thing called The Social. And they asked, how long have there been rumors about Harvey Weinstein? And Elaine Liu says, there have been rumors for as long as I've been doing this. All I can speak to is my own experience. And for the 15 years I've been reporting, that's how long I've been hearing about it. I read a tweet today from somebody who works in the business who says, everybody has their own Harvey story. It ranges from that to, I've heard he's so creepy, people have warned me. There are some people who have specific stories, and then there are people who know someone who knows somebody who has a specific story. That's what she says. So put simply, in Hollywood, most people were aware of Weinstein's action, and more disconcerting is the continued cover-up, because not a single late-night comic cracked a joke about Weinstein. Where are the politicos who that he donated to? Where are they? These late-night comics haven't done a thing. The politicos are saying nothing. Hollywood, it's mum's the word. Page 6 says this. Yet Weinstein has one of the most successful production careers in contemporary Hollywood, winning 6 Best Picture Oscars and lending his name to dozens of other critically acclaimed films. And let me tell you, I'm going to save this last revelation for the top of the hour. because I really want you to hear the big thing circulating through Hollywood about Harvey Weinstein. And what everybody wants to know next is the big deal. It'll blow your mind. This is a bigger deal than you think, folks, because this showcases what the left is about and the extremes at which they're willing to go to cover up for somebody that's powerful and got money and can get them what they want.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.